What's going on, guys? FadeitLuie here, bringing you guys a brand new video. We're going to be doing a mid taper on my boy, so stay tuned. We're starting off by butting the back taper with our Gold FX. Make sure not to press too hard when using the trimmers because you don't want to make the guideline too harsh. Now that we're done butting them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. We're then going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help us erase that initial guideline we created with our trimmers. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. Again, we're then going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line with our lever, we can move on to our half guard to erase the line completely. This is going to help us connect the no guard all the way open to the one guard all the way open. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. When you're reaching the top, you want to flick out as much as possible because we are getting into the bulkier areas. Now that we're done softening up the line with our two guard and its lever, we can move on to the 1.5 guard to erase the line completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your one guard all the way open and using its corners will definitely help. Moving on to the 3 guard all the way open, we're going to flick out as much as possible and get ready to blend out the bulkier areas. Now that we're done flicking out with our 3 guard all the way open, we can move on to our clipper over comb method and use our vertical strokes to remove the bulk as much as possible. Now that we're done debulking with our clipper over comb method, we could go back to our lower guards like the half guard and the one guard and detail as much as possible. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, be sure to check out my daily live streams. Now that we're done detailing the back taper, we can move on to the sides. We're starting off with our Gold FX and we're going to shave off the beard and the sideburns and create our first guideline. Now that we're done budding them out, we can move on to our no guard all the way open and create our second guideline. You do want to make this in a curved shape so that the taper has a burst to it. Before we completely erase that initial guideline, we're going to go back to our foil shavers to remove the stubble. Remember, we're going to use the lever midway and all the way close to help us erase that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing the initial guideline we created with our trimmers, we can move on to the one guard all the way open and create our second guideline. Remember, we're using the lever midway and all the way close to help soften up this line, get it ready for the half guard. Now that we're done with our one guard and its half guard, we can move on to the two guard all the way open and flick out as much as possible. This is going to be our fourth guideline. Before we erase the guideline with our 1.5 guard, we're going to debulk as much as possible with our clipper of a comb method. This is also going to create the shape and the silhouette of the haircut. Now we're going to head back to our 1.5 guard and erase the line completely. Before we line up the side of the ear, we're going to debulk as much as possible with our clipper of a comb method. Again, this is going to create that silhouette and flare look. Now that we're done using our clipper of a comb method, we're going to go back to our NST outliners and edge up the side of the ear. I usually start my way at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. Now that we're done in lining up the side of the ear, we're going to go back to the taper and detail as much as possible. Now that we're done detailing, we're going to move on to our C-cups, and we're going to start off at the bottom, working our way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. Moving on to the front line, we're going to use our NST outliners to start off at the middle and work our way to the sides, making it as crispy as possible. You always want to make sure you don't go too deep into the corners because you want to keep it as natural as possible. Always be sure to have a light hand because you could bite them with the teeth of the trimmer, especially if you're hitting the same spot multiple times. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. Also, be sure to check out my daily live streams.